Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Dananu, and I'm the man with the biggest and the most blackest privilege on YouTube. And it comes with a heavy heart today that they just announced. I think it was by Marvel, according to the article I read. But Netflix is canceling Daredevil after its third season, and it's something that I suspected, that other people have suspected. Is that I think and I even said it, in my season 3 impressions video, but I think Marvel is moving all of their stuff from Netflix over to their streaming service. They're not officially saying that, but it's one of those things where if you know how companies work, if Disney is coming out with their own streaming service and they can put their content on there, why do they need Netflix? And from what the article was saying is that a lot of the decisions behind the recent seasons with Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Daredevil, with the seasons being 10 episodes rather than the I think the 13 or 12 or 13 that they were before, is that Marvel was unhappy with a lot of those changes, and that it's Netflix that's really promoting that new format. And I don't know if they just can't come to an agreement, or if it's just Marvel and Disney saying, hey, look, we don't need you guys anymore. We have our own stuff. We're taking our toys and going home, but it's one of those things where they're canceling everything. And I thought that Daredevil was one of the shows on Netflix where it was like, since that's the biggest one, by far, that it's one of those things where it's like, well, if they may cancel everybody else, but Daredevil's the one that's probably going to stay, because that was the first, that's the one that makes the most out of all of the Marvel stuff on Netflix, right? And then it's like, the new season dropped, like a month ago? Maybe 2 months, I forget when, but I know it just recently came out, and they already announcing that they canceled it. So I they can't say nothing about it now, but I will bet you 100%. I will bet like $20. I swear to God, like I will bet $20 or at least a video game purchase. I'll do this. I'll make it a thing. Why not? YouTube is content, right? If Netflix cancels the Punisher and Jessica Jones after their seasons drop, I will take some money. I'll buy a game. I'll straight up buy a game. I'll figure out a way to do a poll. I'll put a video up and I'll put a couple games on there and just see if you guys want me to buy anything specific. And no matter what it is, if it costs like $100, $200, that's probably the most I'll spend. It's probably $200. But if it costs $200, I'll buy it and then do like maybe 1 or 2 videos off of it. But I bet you that they're gonna cancel those two shows too. They can't come out and say it because it's not official yet, but they probably already know. Netflix probably already knows. They just can't really say anything because then you still have the newer seasons. They're probably still under contract, to be honest. The Punisher and Jessica Jones probably still have seasons that has yet to come out. They have to put at least those seasons out or release them, and then that's when they can be like, oh well, we're canceling it. So they don't want to cancel the show or say that they're canceling it, but before the new seasons premiere. But I bet you after they premiere, they're gonna get canceled too, because if they're willing to do Daredevil and Luke Cage, then it's one of those things where it's like, okay, they're willing to do it with anything. However, what the article said is that the current seasons, they're going to remain on Netflix, and this sounds like a contract deal. The current seasons of the shows will remain on Netflix's platform. They're not removing what's already there from Netflix, but any future seasons or the characters will probably be in new seasons, or maybe they may redo the Defenders type thing and have that be like one show on Marvel's Disney's platform, and then have all of them be in that show. you know, because they said the characters will live on. So I'm like, okay, well, if they're living on, then guess what they're about to do? They're probably breaking ties with Netflix, so they have to cancel the shows so that the characters can be freed up. It's just like anything. It's just like, think of it like this. It's like a job. When you go for a job and you're a new employee, right? 9 times out of 10, if a job wants to bring you on or wants to, let's say, keep you working. Let's say you're a temp at a job. You're working for them and you're busting your ass and you're doing your damn thing, and the job really likes you. They may not, or they may want to pick you up and add you as an employee to their company, but they may not be able to based on HR or the way that the business is. Maybe they can't hire any new people. So what they'll do is that as a temp, they'll carry you for however the maximum, the amount the term is, let's say like 6 months to a year. And then once that term elapses, they can't keep you working, so to speak, right? But if they really want to keep you working, what they'll do is they'll say, okay, well, they'll release you from your temp status, say, hey, look, we don't need your services anymore. Thanks for helping us out. And then have you wait 1 or 2 months and then rehire you as a temp again. That's kind of how some businesses do things. And that's what I think that they're doing with here. Netflix probably has a contract with Marvel and Disney. They also have a contract with the actors, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Daredevil. So they're contracted to do probably 3 seasons, or maybe however much that is. Maybe 2, maybe 3 seasons, depending if they, wanted to do a 3rd season of the various shows. So what they're probably going to do is they're canceling the shows, releasing them from their contracts, and then Marvel is going to probably, if they were smart, Marvel better do this. Marvel and Disney would be complete assholes and fools if they didn't, but release them from their contracts on Netflix's end, wait a little bit until they're announcing, their streaming service and stuff like that. And what bigger promotion or deal would it be to be like, yo, look, you remember those characters that were canceled? Yeah, now we got them back with their new season of shows. And put it as like the front face of Netflix, not Netflix, of their streaming platform. And then they could be like, oh, you know what's also good? Those other characters from the movies, we got Loki got a series, Scarlet Witch got a series, oh yeah, we also got this Moon Knight that's ready for you that we just happen to be sitting on. It's like, I was like, you remember Blade? Yeah, we got one with him too coming down the line. So it's like, it would be the smartest move in the world for them to do it, to do it like that. And that's what I'm seeing. And I know it's not just me. It's just like anybody, if you've been alive long enough to watch how companies do what they do, you can definitely read in between the lines and see where they're going. Because this is coming as kind of like a shock, because it's like, damn, Netflix, like, I know, like, maybe people weren't watching it, but that's Daredevil. Like, Daredevil was the one that kicked off Marvel on Netflix, and everybody liked it. And they're like, it will be different, like, with Luke Cage and Iron Fist. People like Luke Cage, but with Iron Fist, like him, I was questioning about when they canceled him. I was like, well, it is Iron Fist. A lot of people didn't like his season. Or if it was, let's say, like how Marvel released the Inhumans, everybody hated that. Well, I'll be like, well, then yeah, they probably just canceled that. They're not gonna bring that back. But with the Netflix shows, it's like at least keep the ones that people like. Like Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica Jones. I'm assuming people like The Punisher. I remember people talking about that when it came out, but they're giving everything to ads, and that's where it's like, and Disney got a streaming service knocking at the door, like, look, we got our subscription right here. I just feel like that's the way they're going with this. And I even said something in my impressions video, like at the last minute, I was like, yeah, they probably gonna move all their stuff to Netflix, because that's what it's seeing, that's what it's looking like. So I have a feeling that's what they're gonna do. And along with that, if they were smart, they have to renegotiate the contracts with the actors in order to get them on. And once they get on board with Marvel, all the bullshit that people were saying would probably, that's around the Netflix shows, like, oh man, I wish they'd be in the movies. I wish the people in the movies would recognize them. I guarantee you, they might make movies with just them, or have them pop up in the movie, because then if you get them under contract, they're under Marvel's warehouse. And what better way to promote your stable of characters than to move them into movies. Now, I don't know if the other actors have done movies. I know Luke Cage, I've seen him in other stuff and legit movies. So I know he's, you know, done some stuff. Nothing really super big, but what better way to do it than to have them be like the half of the grouping of like the new Avengers or something like that, because then you can do that. You got Marvel and the X-Men and Wolverine and all of that extra stuff coming anyway, and then on top of that you got the Marvel Netflix people coming into the movies too, like, because they could sprinkle them in. I mean, hell, at that point you can even do the new Avengers, you know, Luke Cage, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Iron Man, and a few other people, you know, that was on there. You can actually do that now, and that's what you could call it if that's what you want. You know, probably they would throw Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Captain Marvel on top of that too. But you can do it at that point because then you have contracts with everybody, and they're all under your household. You know, you don't have to go to Netflix's door and bow and prostrate yourself in front of them and say, hey, look, like, can we please get our character back and put him in our movie? You know, you don't have to do like what they did with Sony with Spider-Man. You can just be like, you know what, Luke, yo, come over here, yo, we throwing you in this movie real quick. And fans would eat that up. You know, everybody would shut up. Everybody that's throwing shade or throwing hate at Marvel, like, oh man, Marvel don't care about the Netflix shows. Yeah, they do. they're just legally bound not to be able to do anything probably. But I bet you that's what they do on YouTube. I guarantee it, as the old saying goes. So, but let me know what you guys think of the transitions and them just taking the axe to Daredevil season 3. But let me know down in the comments below. My name is Denanu, and I'm the man with the biggest and the most blackest privilege on YouTube. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.